Hi, and here is a program I developed earlier. Call it Payroll Management System, or you can also call it Payroll Management System. So this is how it works. You can delete. Okay, if you click on delete without anything selected, that is what you get. Select a role to be deleted. Okay, now that the role is selected, you can just delete. Alright, and you can also add, so if you notice, we've just added more information about King Long. So either maybe delete one and modify one. So we can modify that very one you want to modify. Make sure you select it, come in here and enter whatever name you want to enter for King Long. That become Henry Moore, and just change the name of the street to whatever you want. Let's say Dillon Way. Okay, and the location there, maybe that might be Southwest, whatever you want. Okay, who does it work for? Maybe it's working for Goodman Jobs, and just change that to change the name to this role. We can change this to that, and then maybe increase the wages. Overtime hours work 30. So that's that done. All you just need to do now is maybe change the tax code to D. So that's a D there, and just click on total. If you guys can have a quick look at this before I click on the wages, there you can see all the changes is carried out. Then you can then select the update. There, that's it, updated right there. That's how the system works. So what I will do next is just take you guys straight into Java NetBeans development environment, and you'll see how I've put together this system. It's a little bit complicated, but you will enjoy it. Just follow the tutorial, and if you have any problem, you can always send me an email and I'll forward the codes to you. But make sure you subscribe. Let's go into Java NetBeans development environment now. Hi, welcome to Java NetBeans tutorial. In this very session, I'll be developing what I've referred to as a payroll management system. Payroll _ management system. Okay, that's the name right there. I will uncheck that very main class, click on finish, and the next thing right here with the payroll management system, right click and select JFrame form, enter payroll management system in there, click on finish. Once that is done, just set the property of this very frame, set the preferred size. Let's set that to 1366 by 700. I'm just going to copy that across straight to the size right here, there, and that is it. The next thing is let me come to the palette right here, get my panel, drop it there, just about that size, and right click, select the property of that very panel, come to the border, change that to, let's go for, yeah, that's fine, the border style. Okay, click on OK. There, that's my panel right there. So I will now add label here, with a label here, and I also need a text box. Let's get a text box, or TextField actually is called. TextField in place. Change the size of both components. Change it to, let's right click, go for the property, or get the property itself. Windows, and right here somewhere get the properties. Then let's change that to maybe 18. Make that bold 18, that's fine. Okay, just copy it across, both of them, copy across. Yes, okay, duplicate copy, 1 2 3. That's about 4 there. and there. So what I will do next is just copy all of this and make a duplicate of that very one. That's good. So what I'll do next is just to speed it up and get back to you guys. Okay fellows, this is how my system is looking right now. I've also added another, that's two panel right there. Okay, so let's continue with the development of the interface and I'll get back to you guys. Alright, this is how the interface, the entire interface is looking right now. Okay, if I compile and run, and that is how the system is looking right now. Okay, now here I have all my text box and I have all my list box there, text box, list box, and I also have list box here because I'm going to be using these ones as just an output device, while these ones are just like output and input device. Here I have a combo box of which I've entered some numbers into there to represent one stand for or represent January, as February, and so on up to October, November and December right there. And here this is supposed to be the tax code, and right here that's just text box, and here that's supposed to be the national insurance code. Alright, and here I have all labels. Right here I have a label right there. That very label, I'll just use that for the time, and these ones here are all buttons. Right now they all do nothing. And here if you notice I have another plane here, and this plane I'll just add a table to it. So let's add a table to that plane right now. Let's go to the palette there and just select table. That's it right there. Select this very table, drop it there, so you'll be able to manage it more better with the table. Okay, but what will happen is, because I have a lot of data to go and fit inside this table, I may have to select which of the data I will be entering in there. Like I will enter customer's name, address. Do I have to enter that? I can always enter the postcode. I don't have to enter the county. Reference number. Okay, employer's name. Right, employee. No, I don't have to enter that because that's already there. So let's start now. So what I would do is right click on the table, go to table content right there, select in the first place, and I need to select this and just enter as follows: employee name or employer name. So I have that in place, and I also need the address. Let's see, what else do I need? I won't need the address. I'm going to need the address, so address, and I think the address and the postcode and reference number. Okay, let's go for right click. We don't need the address right there. Let's go for the postcode there. So what I'll do now is just speed it up and get back to you guys. Okay, I've finished with my table, and as you guys can see, I've actually used a string as the data type. For your information, you can always choose whatever data type you intend to use, but I just chose string for to make life easy for me. Okay, and here I left here as resizable so that I can resize the table. So if I click on close and let's run the program, compile and run there, this is how my whole system looks. You can see the resizable. That's why I left that way. So I just need to carry out some adjustments right here. Okay, so I'll now go back into the design view and just get rid of these ones because I need these rows. I don't need them visible. Okay, come back here, bring this out a little bit more, just about that. Okay, now right click again and just select table content. Come in here, get rid of all of these rows, it's not needed. There, that's good. Now just save, compile, run. There, this is how the whole system look right now. So it's going to take a lot of programming codes in here to get this thing working. So we better start now, guys. So let's deal with the easy ones first. Maybe let's take care of the exit button, reset, and we'll take it from there. Okay, close that. With the exit button, double click on the exit button. Let's go back, try again. There, that's very simple. System.exit, that's taken care of. So with the case of the other components, we need to get to know the names. So let's come up here, select that. We need to know the names of those very component in this case. So you can now also right click and select change variable. You will see the names there. Click on OK, and you can just come here and turn inside the code right there, or the reset button right here. Paste that. Dot send text and just change that to null. There, that's for that. So that means we can reset that. So I need the names of this one as well as address. Repeat exactly the same thing for address. So I'm just gonna speed that up anyway and get back to you guys. Okay, now that the reset button is all taken care of, here are the codes for the reset button right there. But I would like you guys to check out the combo box. Those are the combo box. To reset those, you have to set combo box dot reset selected item equals 0. There. The reason why is equals 0 is there they are. And if I come to the property right here, let's go into model. There they are. So when you set it to 0, 0 equals 1 in the case of this very one. Okay, now let's look at the other one. 0 in this case equals A. Okay, so just make sure you guys don't make a mistake when you're setting that. And the same thing applies to this. If you want to add any more data into it, you can just say H equals 10,000. So that's how much you make a year before you've been taxed. Okay, that's it. Alright, that's how you enter data into the combo box. The next thing I'll do now is just to go straight into my program right here, right underneath here. There. Okay, that's taken care of. We import as follows right up here. Okay, the next thing is because I do need these ones for my date, and I'll be needing this for my random number generator for my reference, employer reference number. So let's get the details of the employer reference number and the date. Employer reference there, and the date. Let's go for date over here. Okay, that's correct. So to get the date and the employer reference number in place, I'm just going to double click on the wages and enter as follows. That is the lines of codes represent that will be for the date, and this will be for my reference number. Well, maybe I may have to put the date in the form activate, so that will just appear automatically. So let's run it and see how it is for now. If I click on wages, you get a date right there, but we can always put it on the form activate. So let's come in here and just get the date cut, and we go into the form, right click on the form and select event, come right down window activate right there, and just paste that in there. So that's good enough. Okay, if I run it, let's compile there and run, and what you see is the dates will appear automatically. That's the date. I don't have to click on the wages for the date to appear, so that's much better. Okay, what is remaining for me to do now is I think maybe I should just compile the code to add information onto the table first before we start writing the rest. Okay, let's do that now. Okay, the next thing I'll do is to actually add every single data in here. I like to add it straight onto my table right there, and I think I've given this a name, JTable. So if I double click on JTable, that's right here. Let's get rid of the comment and just enter as follows. Let me show you guys the codes anyway. Right here I have an error trapper, just in case if I don't enter information in into the reference number. Okay, that's what happened. You get that error message, I think, for the reference number. Okay, that's just to reset the error trapper. Okay, that alerts you if you don't enter any message into this very text box here. Okay, and here I have the default for the table mode right here. See, even if I get rid of all of this, if I get, let's say I get rid of those, I can still enter my data. Okay, let's just get rid of those. You see what I'm talking about. Let's see, undo that. Okay, right, let's get rid of these ones. Yeah, and get rid of these as well. There. Okay, with these alone I can always populate my table. So these are the real lines. Let me close this. From here down here, those are the lines of code that actually populates the table. So if I choose to run, let's say I compile and run it, you will see what I'm talking about. I can see enter those information onto the table, but there won't be any error trapper for me there. So if I say the name is, let's say the name is Sally, and address is, let's go for Carltonville. Okay, that's it. County, random, and postcode NW6. Okay, now reference, we don't have to enter the reference because the system should generate that. Actually, I should have used a label there. Okay, employer details, let's say it's a King's label. Let's put King's there. Employee name, we already have Sally's name, Sally Moore. And right here in a city wages and basic salary, let's say it's about £1,200. Overtime, she's done about 4 hours overtime. Okay, now here we have NI. So let's say NI payment, let's say she's paid £100. All we just need to do is we can always click on this one doesn't work anyway, that just generate that. But if we click on this, we can always add those information. You see that what happened. So that's what I want to do. But supposing there's nothing here, I expect the system to generate an error. So let's go into the process let's go into the program, get that reset. So close this. At least we're getting somewhere anyway. Alright, let's go back in there. Where's the code? Back, and just undo all my deleted information there. Yeah, I think we're back on track now. No, one more. Okay, I think that is it. So those are the lines of code for just to add information, just to add those data onto the table there. Okay, so if you want to have a good look at it, that's fine. It looks a bit rough. Let's make it look a bit, let's tidy it up. Okay, I've tidied up the code a little bit. So right here, that is my error trapper right there, and I have it. I'll show you. We have it on my system. Okay, that's how the codes look now. That's just to populate the table. Okay, let's compile, run, and right here it's invisible right now. It's my error trapper. So if I click on add to table, you see that you must enter pay reference number. So let's say I click on the wages, right, and I click on that. You can see the pay reference number in there. Okay, so that's how that works for now. So I'm going to continue with the rest of the code, then we'll take it from there anyway. Alright, add to table there. Okay guys, let's continue with the rest of the code. This is taken care of. We need to take care of wages, update, delete, reset is taken care of, and we should be able to delete content in here. When we select this, we should be able to delete anything we want to delete. Okay, let's take care of that now. Okay, the next thing is to take care of the delete. First thing first, let's give that delete button a name. Let's call on JDelete there. Okay, let's double click on it. Just enter. Get rid of the comment in there and just enter the following lines of codes right here. From here down here, those are the following lines of code for delete. Okay. Alright, so let's just give these few lines of code a try and see. Let's compile, run the program. Alright, I'm just going to enter some details in there. Call and address, let's just call it okay, county, and postcode. Alright, name, employer's name, let's just say and that's the name of the employer. The name is Paul Owen. Inner London wages and salary, overtime. So we just need to click on, let's get that sorted as well, and just click on wages right there. And the next thing is add to table. Okay, none of this works yet because we've not taken care of the codes that are meant to generate that. So if add that to table, we can add more. So let's give the delete a try. Supposing I click on delete, select a row to delete. So let's come in there now, click on delete again. There, see that a row is selected. Okay, this is supposed to disappear. So let's let's come back in here. You see the delete code is working, but this is not disappearing. So let's come back in there. That's the delete code, and that is supposed to be this. So let's copy this come right up here, right there, paste that in there just to and set it to null value. Okay, that's fine. So supposing I compile and run it again, let's see what's going to happen. Let's compile and run. Yeah, if I click on this to delete, no data to delete. Supposing I have some information there. Okay, and I enter some names there. Let's click on add. Okay, add to table again, and click on delete. Nothing to delete. Okay, select what to delete. There, it's now working as expected. If I click now, no item selected. There, that's fine. So that's working as expected. I've made a couple of modifications, just two actually. You see the reference icon right there, or the reference component. I've changed that to a label because I don't want to be able to, or the user to be able to enter data into it. So that will be generated by clicking on the wages, and the same thing is done here because this national insurance number and these are supposed to be the same. However, it's supposed to show the cumulated tax pay, or the cumulated national insurance number paid. I think we don't have to work that out as we go along, which means if you select 2, whatever is in here is multiplied by 2. Alright, so the next thing I want to do now is since this is the 12th month, so this should be multiplied by 2, by 12 really. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is just to declare a couple of variables, which I've already done, and just before that I've imported as follows: mass.bigdecimal. Then here, these are the variables that I intend to use. Okay, I have all the global variable. Alright, that's for the inner city, basic wage, overtime, gross pay. I think maybe I'm gonna have to declare some other ones anyway as a local variable. So I will start by double clicking on the wage right here. So let's double click on the wages there, and right here enter as follows. Okay, if you notice I've declared some local variable. Those are the local variable declare. Okay, and I've also assigned the following. The inner city wage is assigned to the global variable inner city wage. The same thing, whatever data is inside the basic salary component is assigned here, and the same thing is repeated for overtime, gross pay. I've added everything in here into gross pay, and then assign straight into gross pay there. And this is just to give you the decimal places. Okay, the very first part of the calculations goes as follows for the rest of the component. Let's bring it up. I've actually used try catch in case if there's any error. That's the very first part of it. The A000, if that is selected, this is what I want the system to be. So if I show you guys, maybe if you can still remember the A00, let's come in here. That is it right here. Sorry, just right here. That is the data that I'm referring to for my calculation. Depends. If you select A00, that means you are allowed £1,000 a year before tax. A30 or A3000, you are allowed 3,000 per year before tax, 4,000 before tax, 5,000 before tax, and so on. So let's come in here. Okay, and that is it. before tax. That's what you are allowed. And then the student loan is worked out. Okay, the pension plus whatever is in there. Okay, so I'm just going to take it down so that you guys see the codes. It's a very long lines of code. If you want, you can always send me an email and I'll forward it to you guys. And that is for the very first part. So, and right here that show the period, actually the period of national insurance number that you've paid. Okay, let's take it down. Suppose you can see the code. That's just for the very first A00. Okay, now for the second part of it, A3000, that's it right there. It's just exactly the same lines of code. The only difference is the 3000 bit that you are allowed for the very first tax, second or whatever tax year you are. Okay, depends on your tax code. If you are allowed 3000, then that's what you get. Okay, now the next one is if you are allowed 4000 per year, is divided by 12 and so on. It's the same lines of code like I said earlier on. Now 5000, it is it. Now you guys can see it. Okay, for 6000, there we go. For 7000 per year before tax, and that is it. Okay, that's for 7000. Okay, we now have for 8000 per year. That's for 8000 per year. So bring it down. All right, we have for 9000 per year, which is and that's the last one really. You can see it's divided by 12 as well, just like the other ones. It's a very long line of code. It's going to, so if you need these lines of code, you can always send me an email and I'll forward it to you. And right here, that is where the system will let you know if there's one or two things missing. And that's why I use try cache there. That's it right here. Okay. Alright, so the next thing I want to show you guys is the update. Right here, double click on the update, and here we have the update. So if there's nothing there, you get this message. Alright, there's the update right there. That's for the table itself. So if the table is, that's for the table row equals -1. Okay, just to update it. Alright. But if there's any problem, the table is now populated, this is what you get. If the table is 0, there's nothing inside the table, you get this message. Our table is not populated. And if you didn't select anything, you will get this message saying select a row. Okay, so we'll take it down, and these are the same lines of code. So each of these you can see start from 0, representing each column right here. That will be 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 18. Okay, that's it right there. Okay, and up to 18. If you remember at the beginning of the program, I actually left out 3 of the component because they are the same, so I just left them out. That's why I only have 19 in there in total. Okay, that's for updates, and that, I think that is, no, that's not all. There's one more. This is for the table. For you, when you click on the table right here, I've actually used a click events right there here. Okay, these are the ones that are left out, which is not required in here, so I can even delete it. You don't need those ones. Delete them. If you need the codes, send me an email. Make sure you subscribe, and I will forward it to you. So that is it. It's a long line of codes. Guess you will enjoy it when you put something like this together. But most of it is all repetition, like I said earlier on. So what I will do now is let's run the program and see how it looks like. Compile, because of the savings and the deleting that I've made. Compile and run. So the first name, let's say I enter Paul Omen, and in here the address, let's say 90 London town. Okay, county NE9, or counties. So county, let's just call that London, sorry. And that'll be NE9. That's for the postcode. You won't be able to enter any reference in there. And employer's name, let's say he works for God's son. Right, and right here the name. See, that's one of the repetition I'm talking about. That's why I did not bother enter that on the table right here. Okay, inner London wages, or I call it inner city wages, within. Okay, and here basic salary. Yeah, I'm well paid. Why not? Okay, alright, I made that up. Okay, the overtime. Yeah, I love overtime so that I can get more money. Alright, so the next thing I need to do in here is the period. You just select the period of pay, and that's December. Okay, let's go for G, the big one. And since G is the tax code and the insurance code is G as well, that means you're gonna have to pay a lot of national insurance number. So just click on this wages now. There. So everything else is generated for you by the wage system there. Then all you just need to do now is to add that to the table there. That's Paul's information. You can always zoom to see what's going on with Paul. Oh, many information there. He lives in 90 London town and so on. All of the necessary information you need is right here. So supposing we just populate the table and we want to make a couple of changes right there. This guy is not Paul. Let's change his name to maybe, or our name, Sally Gone, or Gonna, whatever. And Sally lives in number 12 Frogner Road. Okay, that's where Sally lives, London. NW7 or W, let's put W there, 99 or whatever. And who does she work for? Sally works for, let's say she works for KFD Jobs. Okay, name Sally, and Ghana. So let's come in here and change it. I think Sally Ghana is a single mom, so let's give her D, and maybe, okay, that's the month is 12, and the NI code is D12, D600 as well, and that's all. Okay, that's the update right there. So let's just click on another one. Let's say we'll double click on this other one. Oh yeah, why not? And just change the name here to, let's make sure it's selected. Change the details there to Peter Pan, and Peter Pan lives in 50 whatever Pan Street, London, SW8, works for trading. Okay, and enter Peter Pan there. Well paid too, so that's what he gets, and the wages is about that per month. Overtime, he doesn't need it, so let's say 10, and that is it. So let's come in here and change that, because Peter Pan is a bachelor, is a young man, he has no problems. Okay, let's click on add, and now we need to update. You see that's how the update works. I'm going to carry out a little bit more of those. Let's say we want to update the next guy underneath here. Let's change that to maybe Grace Town with Grace Townsend. Okay, 34 Hill Place. These become W. Alright, so she works, let's assume she works for the same firm as Peter Pan, so I just change that to Grace Townsend. Kind of the same tax code, let's change that to C, and this one to C as well. So that's for Grace. So all you just need to do is click on update. You can see that it's updated to Grace. So I'm just going to carry out some more update and you guys see what I'm talking about. Okay, now I've populated the table, and but we do have some issue right here. We can see duplication, so and that's where this delete comes in handy. So we've deleted that. Supposing we click on it again, you see that it's saying select a row to be deleted, so we still have a duplicate here. So let's get rid of that, delete, and that is how the system works. Just like I said earlier on, if you guys do need the codes, you can always send me an email, just drop me a line. Make sure you are a subscriber though, and I will definitely forward the codes to you. So I'll say you all have a nice day now. Suppose you enjoyed the tutorial. Bye for now.